Hey, welcome. Alright, so welcome back. If you didn't already know it, my name is Eric, and we have a channel here that does Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or Monday through Friday podcasts, and we got a little bit of everything there. And we also do weekends, and we also do repair videos like this. So today, we're going to talk about pressure washers, and the do's and the don'ts, and what most people may not even know, right? So, to start off with, let's start right from the very beginning. You need adequate water pressure coming from your garden hose or your outside faucet. And for most of the time, I recommend 40 to 60 psi on your pump. It's on your house pump, putting pressure in the tank and stuff. The very least is 30, and you're not going to get much. It's going to start getting hot because you're not getting enough water to the unit, and thus you're not going to get enough pressure coming off the unit as well. So we need to make sure that we've got adequate water pressure coming from the tap, from wherever you're getting your water source. And if you're not getting at least 30, don't invest in one of the gas powered. You know, you're not going to hear me say this very often, but you may want to look electric. Claude's got a little electric one to home. My son's got one that he brought over here last week. I think it was 2200 psi. A little electric thing with a little container on top where you pour your detergent or your degreaser, what have you, in it. This one here is ours for the shop. That's why she's dirty. You know, she probably needs a good pressure washing. But not all pressure washers are the same. And it's not just how many psi it puts out. It's whether it's a commercial or a residential unit. So let's kind of take her back and go slow. This here unit is a commercial grade, okay? And that's got a heavier duty pump. She got a good Honda engine on her. You know, she's going to hold up under the load. But most of the time, you as homeowners are not going to see this style pump. The ones you're going to see are like ones that I sell thousands of. Let me open this up and use it for a display. This is probably what you're going to see mounted on the bottom of your pump, right? And this is probably, I would say, 80% of the water pressure washer pumps that are sold through Lowe's, Home Depot, all the other ones are going to have this style with a keyed shaft, or a key where you put in a keyed shaft, you go up on and you just bolt the four together. And for you guys, I know you're going to ask, how do you put the oil in here? It comes already with oil in it, so you don't need to worry about that. All right? You just need to make sure you get the keyway slot lined up, that your four legs are the same. Now, not all just three-legged are the same either. There's variations of it. So you need to know exactly what pump you're after. And the bulk of the pumps that I sell are through HomeLink. And for some reason, they carry all these different style pumps. And I think it's a generic thing that all the pressure washer makers farm this out to like HomeLink maybe. But what I want to show you while we're talking pressure coming in there, let me bring this right over to you. If you look right inside here, you're going to see a screen, or you should see a screen. I'm hoping that you can get a good view of it. All right. And a lot of times after you use it for a while, especially if you have hard water, that screen will get plugged. And if that screen gets plugged, what happens? It restricts the water going to the pump. So if you don't get enough water pressure going to the pump, your pump's going to overheat and you're going to ruin your pump. Just because that screen was dirty. A lot of times we sell a lot of, the screens to, and each one of them are different. Don't just go out and look for pressure washer screen and order a screen, because you're not going to get the correct one. Is if you have adequate water pressure, that's 40 to 60 is optimum, 30 is the very least, and this here is not plugged. So far so good, right? But like I was saying, on these units you have the commercial and you have the residential. And the difference is the commercial grade, it can take a lot of use. And I don't know if you know it, but you're going to know it after today. The worst thing you can do is let your pressure washer pump idle. If you let that idle without using the wand, and I think they recommend like a minute or a minute and a half tops. If you're going to set your pressure washer down for over a minute, shut it off. I'm going to save you big money. Shut it off. Why shut it off? Because without having that water going through the pump, it's stagnant. It's got the pressure, it's still there, and it's recirculating the warm water, which keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter, right? The other thing you probably didn't know is with the homeowners version, they recommend that, the average homeowner only uses it so many hours a year. And there's only so many hours that the unit is made to last. And some of them are 500-600 hours. Less than that. Some of them are 150 is what the manufacturers are hoping for. Because they figure a homeowner might use their pressure washer, to wash the lawnmower off or the mower deck off, and stuff. And the other thing with the homeowners, if you're doing siding, listen to me now. If you're doing siding, let it rest for a while after using it. Use it for 20 minutes to half hour, a little more than that, and then shut her off and let it just cool off. And that allows you to cool off. If you take and continuous run that for 3 to 4 hours, the heat alone in there is going to start affecting the pump and the pressure that it can put out. And it will burn out a pump. Guarantee it. So now we know that a pump can get burned out if it doesn't have enough water pressure, or it's continuous run, or we've stopped it and it's lasted over a minute, minute and a half, and that just takes a lot of wear and tear on your pump, right? So why is it that repair shops hate to see you come with this? Because we already know that one of these, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a dealer, keeping it real. I can pick up these pumps for around 60-70 bucks. But I guarantee for you, you're going to pay over 100 bucks for this pump. Even if you go on eBay and Amazon, you're going to pay over 100 bucks for this pump. And if you pay me, a shop, which they can have it even higher than that, because it's suggested the list on these a lot of times are what a new unit would cost. Stupid, right? But they want you to keep updating your units. They want you to keep buying their products. And I would swear we must have had 35, 40 pressure washers that were given to us, and every one of them, the pump was gone. But up here in the North Country, we have another issue that isn't so common in the South, if you're from the South. In the North, that water you can't get all the water out of here. And if you leave it out, a lot of times what I see is people just unhook the garden hose, they leave the wand still attached to the pump, and they just put it in their garage as non-heated or one of the outbuildings until the following year. What happens? Water expands, and this is aluminum, guys. This aluminum will crack. She will. So what are ways around that? Well, do I have to take the pump off every year and drain it? No. What I recommend to my customers is simply go to Tractor Supply, go to Walmart, go anywhere, get RV antifreeze. RV antifreeze. And just take and pour it right into here. You can put like a tube, a funnel, and just pour it into that to make sure that you got all that off. Take your wand apart, make sure it's drained all out of that. Take your wand hose and make sure it's completely drained out. The only time you don't have to worry about that is if you have a heated garage, or you're from the south, or you're putting it in the house. Maybe you want to have it in the house. On some units, like this one here, they have like a little nipple, and I've had people ask me, what's that nipple for? Well, that nipple, you can put a plastic hose on it or a rubber hose. Usually they come with them if you're buying it new. And this you can put right into like a detergent or a soap that you want to use. And what they do is they recommend, if you're going to use like a detergent first, something to break down the grease and the dirt, even on siding and stuff, is you start off with the correct tip. And each one of them goes up in pressure. So when you're sudsing down an area where you're pulling fluid through your pressure washer pump from a gallon can of degreaser, you want it to kind of you don't want a high pressure. You're just pushing it to the highest point and then letting it come down, and then going from the lowest and working your way up so that everything is falling behind it. Then go up to the next level with PSI on your pump. So hopefully I haven't confused you too much. Regular maintenance on these, with the gas powered, we change the oil at least once a year in it. We run high octane 91 in it. We also use the PRI-G that Jason recommended, and we do a service on there. We pop the valves, adjust the valves every year so that it runs good. And I'll tell you, this unit here is going on 7 years old, and we abuse it. We use it a lot on tractors, lawnmowers, what have you. So on that note, you guys have a great day, and thanks so much for watching. And if you're enjoying the videos, if you could like and subscribe, that would be super. If that's not your piece of cake, that's okay too. Welcome to the channel.